What's up and welcome back to part 2 of my Doors Floor 2 guide. Where we last left off was on the first seek chase. On that chase, you would have to duck under certain barriers, one minecart, and take turns with your minecart as well. You would use A or D to change directions holding it, then you'd hit C or Shift to crouch and uncrouch. I sadly don't have any footage for that chase right now, so today I'm going to show you the ending part of Doors Floor 2. As you may have seen on the recording, we are on the part right after the seek chase, and by that machine it tells you a code and tells you to locate 5 anchors in the order from A to E. The amounts can vary, it seems, depending on the quantity of players currently active. There are giant gigglers that you will have to avoid in order to put in the codes. They can hit you twice before you die, but they can outspeed you, so be careful and make sure you hide in crevices or in lockers. At the machines, it will have plus insert number or minus insert number, and you will either add or subtract that from all the numbers in the code. For this example, it was 877 minus 1. We would have 766. You go onto there, input the 3 numbers, and flick that lever on the side. Once you complete the next anchor in order, you want to go back to the machine at the bottom and click the button. Then the antenna on top will change directions and face the way of the next machine. The beeps will help you tell to whether you're getting closer or where it exactly is. Now, something to be aware about this part of Doors Floor 2. This part takes the longest, and I would recommend you to clear up a couple hours out of your day if you wish to beat this, because this part alone took us 40 minutes. Yeah, 40. Here's a better example of an anchor. See, we're here at C. Our code is 717, but it says plus 5. Well, you're like, 7 plus 5 is 12. If it's 3 digits, how are you supposed to put that in? The way it works is that you take the last digit, which would be 2, 6, 2. And then it should work. It's kinda stupid and a little confusing, but it's just how it works. Another thing you might have noticed is when the code was being put in, it said 717. But the numbers automatically translate with the added or subtracted number. That's how you know if you're doing it right. Me and Crazy tried to take a shortcut through one of the Giggler tunnels into another room, but instead we had one coming directly towards us. Crazy barely made it, but I just barely didn't. I decided that death was stupid enough that I would waste my Robux on a single revive, and I'm glad I did because it was our only winning round. One good thing is it spawned me back at the machine, so I could have hit the button a lot earlier to get the next code, because that's something you have to do once you get another anchor in order to reactivate it. Something you should be careful of is the corners inside of the Giggler tunnels, because you won't be able to see them until it's too late. You can get cornered and then one-shot. If I were you, I would avoid lockers unless it was absolutely necessary, because they can camp your locker and kill you that way. I did it here because I was cornered. I'm going to skip ahead and show you the last one and the ending cutscene for this part of the game, just because of how long it took, because I don't feel like you want to sit through 40 minutes of footage. Alright, here we are on the last one, and our code is -3, which would make our new code 366. I put that in, I pull the lever, and then we're done. Once you get back and push the button, a chase like Figure did at the end of door 100 is about to commence, but with a giant giggler. You'll have to run across the bridge and avoid it. Once you make it through the doors, you will be greeted by a manhole. You go down there into the mines where it actually turns into the sewers, which will be most of the theme for the end game. Once down the ladder, this is what the rooms will start to look like, and apparently there's a shop with Jeff and some different music. Jeff's shop for the second floor will only sell items that can be found on the second floor. Just keep in mind that all of them can cost around 200 coins, so make sure you're collecting about that much if you plan to buy anything in the late game. I'll play a small bit of my recording's audio in order to let you hear Jeff's shop new music. If you try to change the radio, Jeff will hit it back to the original song. Oh, you can change the music? Bro doesn't like that. Oh, you can't change it again? Oh, yeah, you can. Right here is what most of the sewer rooms will look like. A few rooms will let you climb up into basic mines, but then climb back down. Some of the sewers will actually be open to above ground with rain going through it. Once you enter one of these railway rooms, your goal is to climb up the ladder and go around to the other side by climbing down the other ladder. You can ignore most of the area back into it, but there are other rooms that have lockers and loot. Here we had our first room where we had to climb back up to the mines. Most of the mine rooms will be mimic rooms. Just a quick note, all the closets in the later rooms will not have you play the minigame. You'll be kicked out like normal, but cannot re-enter them, making things like ambush extremely difficult. The way to get around that is to enter multiple different lockers for each of the pass-bys. Luckily, we didn't get ambush here. Something really interesting I noticed, not sure whether it's a bug or not, is that we never got our second figure room until extremely late game. It was a breeze to do by now, but extremely weird. Which means I believe that there's no genuine definite spawn for when it can appear. We reached another manhole, which made it look like we went back into the sewers, but most of the rooms still ended up looking like they were part of the mines, which was pretty odd. Something even stranger was yet we reached another manhole, making us go down even further, but this time it was in a mimic room. The supposed sewer door can also appear to be a mimic at the same time, which almost tricked us into going into it. Now we're on the final Seek chase. It's about the same difficulty as the last and about as long, maybe a little longer. You have to jump over pipes onto next pipes, and then you have to go through pipes, which the guiding light will show you. But sometimes it will fade out and you have to make a guess on your own. That's the extremely difficult part because you can make a wrong guess and it's over for you. Luckily, we managed to make it through just fine. Oh, we got it! This is what the final boss area looks like. A giant sludge inside a giant sewer system with a bunch of drains that fill it up. Your goal here is to turn all the drains off and, well, make them go through the drain. And to do that, you need to go through all of the parkour, because as in this part your character is able to jump. You need to avoid the hands, and they have multiple different stages. They have hands, they have another little sludge guy who will seek you out, then they have little eel-looking things that'll jump out and hurt you. You don't get one-shots, but they do deal a lot of damage. So make sure you guys have bandages if you manage to get hit. I didn't this entire time, but this can be a little difficult if you aren't very good at parkour. Every stage, there will be a larger amount of drains that you'll have to turn, and they will sink lower and lower until eventually, at the end, you will get a cutscene where they get washed down the drain, and you will get a badge for it. Down the drain! Down the drain! Bro, is he gonna turn buff now? Second stage? No, okay. Down the drain. Then, the next thing you need to do is go back all the way up to the top and walk through the doorway and climb up the ladder to the surface. Once you're at the surface, it will be raining, and all you need to do is walk down the path towards the large doors. Once you try to open the large doors, a giant giggler will try to launch out and grab you, but Seek will drag them back down. Then the final cutscene will play, then it will have some sort of to be continued scene.
Are you still thinking the game is shit? I don't know.
Oh no, boss battle, boss battle. Oh good, good. I was so glad.
Bro got screeched.
Wait, bro. Yeah, he saved us, he saved us. Yes, bro, we did it. We did it. We beat it. We beat floor 2. In order to prove I was one of the first 1900 people to obtain the floor 2 badge, I left the game. I scrolled down in the badges until I found the See You Soon badge, and then I looked at the quantity of people who have obtained it at that time. And I didn't cut this in order to prove it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.